Good morning. I always think I'm going to go, good morning, Vietnam, right? Good morning is Wednesday Wisdom here with Elizabeth Eleanor, and we've got the beautiful Leanne Shelton here talking a little bit different. We're going to be talking about business. So we're talking about copywriting for your web and for the web, actually, not for your web.
Your website, but yes.
Yeah, for your website. Yeah. And so, morning, Leanne, how are you?
I'm going well. Thanks, Elizabeth.
We were just talking about the cold is something that you're going to hear me talking about every single day until spring. Hopefully, we're going to warm up then. Yeah, I'm not very good with the cold, and it is cold here at the moment. So, Leanne, where are you again? You're in Sydney, right?
Yeah, Sydney, yeah.
Yeah. So Leanne and I met at a Women with Altitude conference and got to talking at dinner time, and I went, I think you need to come and chat with us for Wednesday Wisdom. And you've actually spoken to my clients as well. We've had some time chatting with them as well. But you're really good at like what you're doing, because you're supporting women or you're supporting people, I'm assuming, not just women, to create content, which is something that's, as a business owner, you may be really good at what you do, but getting it out there to the public is another ball game altogether, right?
Yeah, and I think people forget how much content they've actually got and how useful it can be to repurpose. So that's kind of my buzzword, repurpose. Because there's people who like, I've got all these blogs but I don't know what kind of social media posts to share. And I'm like, well, you have a blog, take like 5 little gold nuggets from that, and there's 5 posts. And then you can repeat those 5 posts in, 6 months time, or create video versions of them. Or there's like all these little things that you can do, or combine a whole bunch of these blogs and turn them into a webinar or a training course, or go backwards and your training course turn into shorter blogs and social media posts that then pushes people towards the course. So it's just so important to make the use of what's in your brain, your intellectual property, and give it out to people. Look, people do get freaked out by the free thing, like giving out for free. The thing is, you're only giving out like little teasers. And you want to build up that know, like, trust factor by giving people this really great content that they find useful and valuable, because then when they're like, I want to take that step further, you're the one they turn to.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's one of the things that I've found in business myself. So many people are so concerned about giving out information for free, right? But that's my best content, like that's from my clients. But actually, when you're giving out only small aspects of it, people aren't, they're just getting, as you've said, the teaser. And when you're adding value to them at that level, I've had myself personally, I know that people come to me, I've been watching you for a while, I've been listening to your stuff, and now I want to find out more about what you're doing, right?
Yeah, and actually on that note, quite often those that do reach out to you don't always comment or react to your stuff either.
Oh, so true. Most of the time.
They are stalking. So that's the thing, we get so caught up with the reactions. It's just obviously psychological, that's what Facebook and these social media platforms know. We kind of, we get excited when we see analytics, that rush, right? But don't feel bad, go, that post, had 5 likes, because you just don't know, another 50 people could have seen it and you made a massive impact on 5 of them, and one of them's going to reach out to you tomorrow. You just don't know.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So it's just got to keep just showing up, because you just don't know who is watching, and sometimes they may not be ready when they first see your content. So that's why I'm saying it's okay to repeat it later on, because if they see it 6 months down the track when they are ready, suddenly a post they may have seen, same post back then, they see it a whole different way, because in a different headspace. So for example, they're just starting a business. They're like, I want to get a new website, and this and this. I don't have the capacity right now. I'm just trying to do the basics. 6 months later, I'm ready to make this official and get a website. Oh, look, I'm following Leanne. I can get her help now, you know? So that's, and I said, for whatever your products or services are, same sort of thing. Someone may be following you, oh, that's a little bit interesting. Then a catalyst hits and like, oh, I really need to work on that in myself. I really need to do, you know, work on that for my business, for my child, for my partner, whatever it is.
Yeah, absolutely. And it makes me think about when you read a book, right? Read a book and then, you know, 6 months, 12 months later, you read it again and you get a whole different level of understanding around it because you're in a different place yourself. You're in a different consciousness, right? So
yeah, or you may have read other books that filled in little gaps and then you go back like, I get that concept so much more now.
Yeah.
So I'm personally, look, I'm a words person, not a numbers person, but I'm determined to get a little bit more savvy with understanding my numbers. So I actually borrowed from the library 3 books the other day, all about financial stuff. Like I want to look at shares and investments, something that's so scary, but I want to look into that for my family. And I'm like, if I get 3 books, if I read 3 of them, then hopefully by the 3rd one, it all starts to sink in a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. And sort of like the conscious and the unconscious sort of gets it at once, and then the next level, sorry, the unconscious sort of gets it, and then the next level is like, oh, I'm actually starting to get that and understand it more, right?
The same with your content. So you start with, you know, basic things, look, and start with definitions of things, because you forget what you know. You live and breathe every day, but other people, it's brand new. So don't be afraid to go back to basics with your content and go, oh, I feel like this is stupid. There'll be people out there going, oh, I'm so glad you explained what EFT is. I hear people talk about it, but I have no idea, or NLP or any of those other, you know, 3-letter things. So or a certain ingredient that your product has that people are like, I heard this is a good thing, but what does it actually mean?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Kind of stuff, go really like granular, you know, with what you can share. And then you'll very easily find heaps of stuff to share that's all in your head, or like I said, in your content, from books you may have written, booklets, brochures, even your website copy, FAQs, flesh them out and turn them into something there's just a lot of potential.
Yeah, absolutely. And so for someone that might be at that next level, you know, they're like, you know, for me, for example, I've got 3 team members. You know, I've been doing this is coming up to my 4th year, I think it is. In September it'll be 4 years, I'm pretty sure. Is it 3? 4? I think it's 4. I've got to ask one of my team. And so, you know, when you get to that, you've been doing that sort of content yourself. What does someone like getting someone like Leanne to come in and go through it? Like, what does that look like for someone that's, you know, ready to upscale, you know, potentially making 6 figures, whatever, but wants to move to that next level?
Well, I guess initially you do create the content yourself, right? And I do offer content marketing training to help people improve their, you know, their LinkedIn and their presence, and write blogs and all that kind of thing. So that's obviously where you start. But then obviously as you grow and you have plenty of other priorities, but you know that's important, then that's where you can then outsource the copywriting. So that's like where the other side of my business comes in. And so you can now go, all right, I've kind of got a feel for the types of blogs I like. I've got all these ideas. I just don't have the capacity. So then you get a writer to, I mean, basically we're ghostwriters. We have to act like you, but that doesn't mean we can read your mind. Just putting it out there. So it is a collaborative approach. It's not like, I have had clients in the past, here's some headings, go write something, and then they've wondered why they haven't been 100% happy with what we've created.
Yeah, that's right.
So I'm like, I'm trying here, but you're giving me nothing. So how I like to do it, so I'm a bit of an extroverted copywriter, a lot I like introverted, but I like to do like an interview for the briefing. And because I figured, I think it was back October last year, I gave someone a written brief, you know, fill out this form, answer these questions, and we'll know what we want to write for your website. And 1-line answers. And then I asked the exact same questions in a Zoom interview, and she talked for 10 minutes on it.
Yeah.
And you felt the energy. And so I'm like, okay, this is what I'm going to do for my blog briefs and website briefs now. Tell me, what do you want the blog to be about? What do you want your website, this page to be about? what's the, the keywords that you want to be ranking for. And look, blogs as well aren't just for getting new people on board too. It's also retaining your current audience, giving them that value to want to stay connected with you. So I basically get out of their brain what they want to say. Then I go out and write it, or someone on my team go and writes it. And we use a Google Doc so everyone can see the same version, do track changes and do a couple of rounds of changes. And then you could have spent that time working on your business, so many other elements that you really love a lot more.
You're working with clients, right? Yeah,
working
yeah.
with your clients, you know, the part that lights you up. And meanwhile, the important stuff that keeps things going is happening in the back end. So that's where we can come in, where you are ready to go next step. And I'm big, like I said before, on repurposing. So when I have someone say, I want you to do a blog, I go, cool, but you need to also get 5 social media posts with that, because I want you to repurpose that blog and not just slap it up on your website and forget about it. So I'll automatically create 5 posts from like a 500-word blog, very easy to do. And if they want to, create Canva graphics too. And then there's 5 posts to share that blog. You can then put over 5 weeks, 5 months, 5 years, 5 days, you know, and then that's another way to get people back to your website and to read what you've put out there.
Yeah. It's so important, isn't it, to rinse and repeat, because, you know, we think that once it's out there on social media that everyone sees it, and it's not actually the case.
The algorithms, you can't predict them. They keep changing. Like on LinkedIn, if anyone's, you know, active on that, you'd see sometimes posts come up from a week ago because the engagement's there. And so what basically happens with most social media platforms, as far as I'm aware, is it kind of, you put something up and they'll send it to a small little group of people. And based on their reactions or engagement level, they'll send it to more people, to more people, to more people, and that's how something goes viral. So that's why you may see something on LinkedIn a week later, because obviously there was that much interest, it somehow made its way to you. But you can't guarantee, you can put the same post on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn, and you may have the same audience across all 3 platforms, but it's unlikely for them to see it across all 3. It's just the way that it all works. They may only see that post instantly. Another one they may see, 2 days later. You just don't know. So that's why, as well, I say just keep showing up and don't get caught up on times of day as well. I mean, that probably works okay for Facebook, but like LinkedIn, like I said, a week later, things are coming up. So the time of day isn't as important. So just play around with it. Have fun.
Yeah. Isn't that interesting? Because I've always thought don't post on LinkedIn on the weekend, and I'm like, why? Because that's when everyone's not at work, right?
Have the time to browse.
So
at night time as well. So don't be afraid to, I put stuff at 8:30 at night. That's where people are multitasking, watching TV and scrolling through their phone, and they see your stuff come up. And, you know, there's so many ads in LinkedIn now. It's so annoying that if you have something interesting, it'll actually, you know, jump out. So on that, you know, you've got LinkedIn, for example, a couple of lines before, like it says read more. So come up with something quirky that kind of grabs people's attention, or have a nice bright graphic that jumps out, or a video, because, you know, videos are great too. They love the videos.
Yeah. So how do people get in contact with you, Leanne, if they wanted to find out more? And do you do like a free consult or something, or how does it work?
So I do like a 15-minute virtual tea, I call it, which I can give you the links and we'll put that in the group. So if you want to just reach out and chat, whether you do want to look at the training, like I've got, if you are local to Sydney, like some business blogging 4-hour strategy session, you just work on it for 4 hours, or also web writing 101 boot camp coming up in a couple of weeks for every day, you know, 7 a.m. there's like a 5-10 minute training, and then a Q&A session at midday. If you can't do it, just watch the replays. But then there's also,
what is that again? Sorry, what is it that you're doing?
It's called Web Writing 101. So it's a 5-day boot camp. It's the 20th to 24th, I think it is. And it's basically tips on writing for your website, writing your blogs, writing social media, and how to like pull it all together, a little content strategy that's easy. So you're very welcome to come along. That one, it's only $97 for the whole week. So, and that includes GST and booking fee. I've absorbed all that. Would love to have you there. And then if you feel like you still need extra support, then yeah, myself might
you can go further. Yeah.
So
awesome.
You can reach out, LinkedIn, look me up. Also my website's right, it's in WRITE, timemarketing.com.au. And yeah, just shoot me a line.
Awesome. So you'll put all the details as we normally do in the comments. Now, one of the things that I often forget, and I am just starting to remember, is to ask my guests, what is the most valuable piece of information or advice that you've ever been given?
Oh, I think it's just keep going. It's the first thing that popped in my head. A year ago, I'd been struggling for about five months in the business. Things didn't really pick up after November. And then, obviously it's been a tricky last couple of years, but I thought I could just look, worst case scenario, I can go find a full-time job or find, work, but I want to keep trying.
Yeah.
I just tried different tactics. So I'm like, all right, well, I've been trying to look for my end client, like who's my niche is health and wellness space, trying to look for them. So hang on, that's not really working. Why don't I focus on the website designers who need the copywriters? And so I changed that tactic, and now most of my work is coming through the website designers. So it's just, the whole thing, don't keep trying the same thing. It's like, the insanity thing. So just if something's not working, I'm just going to experiment and try something else and just see what happens. Worst case scenario, you find another way that didn't work, you try again.
Yeah. And it's all a learning curve, right? It's all part of the process of
failures,
discovering.
Only learnings. That's what I've kind of learned. There was one failure where I attempted to do a 2-day conference with someone, like create my own. No one signed up. We decided to cancel it, lost the initial booking fee, which at the time felt pretty scary. And but it made me realize I need to build my brand. I feel like maybe people weren't signing up because they didn't see the value in who we were. And so I went on that journey of going, all right, I'm become known, get more into the networking. And, then now I have people saying, I feel like you're everywhere and you're popping up. So it's just that one little lesson. I still haven't attempted to do that again, but it just brought to my attention, okay, why didn't that work? And what can I do to fix it?
And what can I improve? Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. Lovely to talk to you, Leanne. It was you always got some great information and strategies for people. And yeah, definitely reach out to Leanne if you feel you just need that extra support and you've got a podcast as well. I was going to say, I listen to your podcast every so often as well. So
awesome. Yes, on it. So stay tuned in that upcoming months. So it's called Marketing and Me, and it's aimed at health and wellness business owners who want to look after their own health and wellness while growing their business. So it's a mixture of like business and marketing tips, as well as the, physical, emotional, mental health stuff as well. So we're all at the moment, it's kind of a financial month being June, but I promise I've kept the interviews interesting. There's been some really great tips actually come up from it. So there's different themes every month, but yeah, tune in. Obviously that's free. That's over 130 episodes there you can sink your teeth into. And there's just, some really great guests that we've had on board. So tune into that.
Yeah, excellent. Awesome. Take care, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. Put #replay if you're watching the replay, and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube, and we will catch you soon.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
See ya.